All right, I'm gonna show you exactly how to get ripped and stay ripped year round. I'm gonna show you two different methods. One, I'm gonna show you the method that I used back when I was a fitness model. You know, man, I've modeled from Nike, Adidas, Puma, Brand Jordan. I was on buses and shit. I was on a billboard in Harlem on 125th. I was king of the hood. Like I was like a real model before Instagram was out. I'm gonna show you what I did then because I wasn't tracking any calories then because MyFitnessPal and the iPhone wasn't out. I'm old. And then I'm gonna show you what I do now, right? It's more sophisticated, more advanced. And it probably needs to be because, again, I am old. At age 43, you can do a little differently than you can do at 23. The metabolism changes, man. It's the same. Now, if you follow this, either one of these paths, you will be able to get ripped and stay ripped. Second one is better, but the first one is easier. So here's what I did. I got signed to like a big modeling agency in New York City when I was around 22 or 23. I used to be young and beautiful. I know I look like this now, and it may be hard for you to understand that at one point I was fucking gorgeous. Youth is wasted on the young. But I was signed with one of the biggest modeling agencies in New York. They said, yo, you too big. Pause. I wasn't like ripped. I was big and like I had some body fat on me, you know? I didn't care because I was like a criminal before they scouted me. So I was like, cool, let me get lean. Up until this point, I had been a trainer for years, so I knew how to get lean. And we couldn't really track our calories there then the same way we can now because the iPhone hadn't been invented yet, or it was just about to come out. Anyway, I had to get lean. What I did was I said, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat just fish, like almost exclusively fish and green vegetables, like salad, spinach, shit like that. And that's like all I ate. Now here's why it worked. Fish, especially like white fish, has some of the highest protein to calorie ratio, more than beef, more than most cuts of chicken. Chicken breast is probably like a close second, but fish has like other benefits that are good for you. And it was light. It was like one summer where I was just eating all fish and green leafy vegetables. Here's the thing. I got so lean so fast. Like I had the hollow cheeks. I was like fucking shredded, abs shredded, the whole nine. And what the weirdest thing happened is, like I used to kind of suffer from acne a little bit, you know, from that. And my skin just cleared up. It was fucking perfect. I remember once I did a modeling gig and they forgot to put the makeup on me. Like they always put makeup on the models, right? And they had forgot to put the makeup on. Somebody was like, oh man, all right, let's go. And I was like, guys, y'all ain't put the makeup on. And it was like, oh shit, we thought you had the makeup on. That's a true story. And so I went, they had to go, they put it on anyway just so I don't shine on them. It really worked. That whole summer, I was in great shape. Now that was the diet part. What I also did was I drank tons and tons of water. We didn't have iPhones then, so it was difficult to track. But my goal was to drink 2 gallons of water a day. When you're drinking a bunch of water, what happens is it flushes the water weight out of you. So you actually hold water when you're dehydrated. Sometimes when they eat a lot of salt, they'll be bloated because dehydration tells your body it needs to store water for later. Kind of like a camel, when instead of a hump, you just got fat face. But if you're drinking a bunch of water, your body's like, oh, we don't need to hold on to it, and it flushes it all out. So I would drink tons of water, like all day, every day. I would always have a water bottle with me. I would either buy it, but I'm also like a street nigga, so I drink tap water. I would just always fill up my water bottle like all the time. Now, as a result, I was always urinating, but it was a small price to pay. And then the third thing I did was walk all the time. Now, mind, I lived in New York. The life of a model in New York, I don't know what it's like now, but in the 2000s, you had to go to a bunch of different castings calls all over the city. In Manhattan, you're not driving, so you're walking everywhere, jumping off on and off the subway, walking everywhere. Again, we didn't have smartphones, so I don't know how many steps I took, but I know I walked for hours. That was really the only cardio I did. I just walked so much, and then I would lift weights every day. Back then, I was probably doing push-pull legs was probably the split I was doing. If I was to do it now, I would do full body or upper lower. And just when life forced me to take a rest day, I would take a rest day. So I probably did that 6 days a week, push-pull legs, walking for hours each day, drinking between 1 and 2 gallons of water each day, and eating only fish and green vegetables. What I learned later is you can get away with just eating any kind of meat and you'll still be in a caloric deficit doing this. I feel like there was something special about the fish that made my skin glow. Fish has a lot of like omega-3 fatty acids, and fish is just really good for you. Y'all probably don't eat enough fish. So that was what I did to stay lean as a model. And I was super ripped, super shredded. Now, I do something different. It's a lot more sophisticated. Now we have iPhones and we have MyFitnessPal and applications like that. So what I would do is, you can probably modify this if you wanted to use this. Most of y'all not going to switch to being pescatarian all of a sudden. You can eat just any kind of meat, pause, and green leafy vegetables. And you can eat as much of it as you want. Like if you don't want to track, this is what you do. Every time I'm training someone who doesn't want to or can't track or just being some lazy hoe, I just put them on this diet. 100% of them lose weight if they can stick to it. Now you're gonna be thinking, man, what about motherfucking fruit? No, motherfucker, you don't need, what the fuck you need fruit for, right? You're gonna get enough vitamins and fiber from the green leafy vegetables. What are you gonna get from fruit that you can't get from vegetables? Nothing, shut up. Well, in fact, they're more nutrient dense. These things aren't very calorically dense. Now fish has the best protein to calorie ratio. And then just drink 2 gallons of water a day, man, or at least 1 gallon of water. Now, when you do this, some of you guys might feel like shit. So, man, when I cut carbs, I don't have energy. I don't feel like shit. So what you can do is add electrolytes to your diet. Like you're going to need more salt, because when you cut carbs and drink a lot of water, what happens is you flush out the water weight, but it's also flush out your electrolytes. So, I drink 1 or 2 LMNTs, put that in some water, or before LMNT came out, I would put salt in water and just drink it, make your food saltier. You usually need way more electrolytes. Take some magnesium at night. It's gonna help you sleep and have some auxiliary health benefits as well. But up your electrolytes heavily. And you definitely need to take caffeine as much as you can stand. Find out where your limit is, right? When you say how much caffeine should you take, let's find out what our limits are. Go too far, maybe. Because here's the thing, only those who go too far find out how far they can go. If you never go too far, you'll never know how far you can go. So take enough caffeine throughout the day, find out what too much is, and then scale it back. That's how I landed at 1,000 milligrams a day. But then again, I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, and I'm like just way tougher than you. That might fuck you up. You gotta find out what your tolerance is. Everyone's different. Some people die if they eat a peanut. I'm not telling you to do 1,000 milligrams a day. And before you comment, your heart's gonna explode. My heart is perfect. I have EKGs, all the fucking heart shit you can have. Because that's what they do when you're an old man. When you're in your 40s, you got to do that shit. You got to take full body MRIs. You got to do all types of shit, blood work all the time. Make sure you stay alive. And my shit be coming back motherfucking perfect. But you may have a different response to caffeine. You may need a lot less. Or you may need a lot more. I don't know. But the reason that caffeine is beneficial as it pertains to losing body fat is it gives you way more energy. And remember, to burn fat, you have to burn more calories you consume. So you're going to have way more energy so you can move more. And it's a potent appetite suppressant. So caffeine, it'll make you less hungry so you can stick to your diet better. Everybody said they can't stick to their diet. I'm like, oh man, you're not taking enough caffeine, brother. Try it next time you're hungry. Just drink a pre-workout. You'll probably be less hungry, especially if you take enough caffeine where your eyeballs start to twitch a little bit. You can feel it in the back of your eyeballs. You ain't gonna be hungry. So that's the easy way to do it. Now, the more difficult way is start tracking your calories. Track how many calories you burn each day and track how many calories you consume each day. Almost all your fitness goals would be easier to accomplish if you just start tracking your calories. Like this is more precise and is better. And you can eat carbs if you do this. You can eat cookies and cake like a woman, as long as you're tracking calories. Take your body weight in pounds, multiply by 10. Unless you're like super fat. If you're super fat, we're gonna have to change things around. But most of you guys can take your body weight in pounds, multiply by 10. That's how many calories you need to eat per day. If you're 240, you're gonna get 2,400 calories and no more. I'm 200 pounds. When I cut, boom, 2,000 calories per day. But you wanna make sure you get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's gonna help you retain more muscle mass. Now, what you do with the fats and carbs, I don't give a fuck. I like low carbs. That's my preference for a variety of reasons. But some of y'all might like high carbs. All that really matters is the calories and protein. Do whatever you want with the fats and carbs. I do high fat, low carbs. People get in great shape doing high carbs, low fat. You can do a fucking mixture if you want. Like, it doesn't really matter. But there are some benefits to low carbs you might find beneficial. One, which especially me, I've been keto for 9 years now. When you're doing the ketogenic diet, one of the things that you'll notice is that you're less hungry. Ketos have been known to suppress hunger, right? When your body's producing ketones, that's why they call it the ketogenic diet, right? When you eat carbs, your body runs off glucose, but in the absence of glucose, your body will produce something called ketones, and that's the new fuel that your body runs off of. And when you have enough ketones produced in your body, you are in ketosis, and ketosis causes you to not be hungry. Also, there's a lot of studies that show that the ketogenic diet will boost your immune system. For example, I have not had a cold in 9 years. I ain't been sick. I had the flu. Motherfuckers was running around during pandemic. People was running around C-19. I was walking around Manhattan like I am legend. My girl had this shit 3 times. I was kissing her in the mouth, eating off her plate. making interracial love tour, unprotected. I ain't even test positive. Oh, I did test positive once because my son had COVID and he sneezed in my mouth. Like we were laughing about something, he sneezed like right in my mouth. Like, ugh. And then I did test positive, but I had no symptoms. Something about the ketogenic diet, there's a lot of studies that show when they put mice on the ketogenic diet, they live longer and healthier lives. It extends lifespan. Well, some people say I look kind of young for my age. Like I don't look like the average 43-year-old guy. But these are benefits of the ketogenic diet that are all proven by science. But if you want to eat carbs, go for it, man. You have to track your calories. And how you do that is with MyFitnessPal. I'm insane with it. I carry a scale with me everywhere I go. Even at restaurants, I'm weighing food. You don't got to go as hard as me, right? Like if you don't know how much something weighs, you can snap a picture of it and tell ChatGPT to estimate it. It'd be kind of close, but you got to track your calories. I'm telling you, all your fitness goals would be so much easier to accomplish if you just start tracking your calories. Like it's to the point where when somebody's complaining to me about some fitness goal they're trying to accomplish and it's difficult for them, I'm like, man, are you tracking your calories? And they say no, I'd be like, man, you ain't for real, man. Like I don't even take them seriously at that point. Like what the fuck? But if you don't want to track your calories, you can do the first method. Now, even with this method, you still want a gallon or two of water a day. You still want to take copious amounts of caffeine because caffeine is a wonder drug. The only problem with caffeine is that it's addictive, right? So you will go through withdrawal symptoms if you come off it. But it's like, there's a lot of things I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to caffeine, water, flexing on haters, stunning on hoes, balling. I'm addicted to success. Ain't no problem. And caffeine is like mad cheap. So like, who gives a fuck? It's everywhere. It doesn't affect my health negatively, right? Maybe if I had some pre-existing conditions or if I was genetically predisposed to having heart issues or something, maybe I'd be more cautious. Until proven otherwise, I'm an immortal, invincible black guy. And there's no evidence to suggest anything different. But, you can take it as your own precautions. I highly suggest you take caffeine. I rarely meet someone really ripped who doesn't take a lot of caffeine. And if you do this, man, you will get in great shape super fast. Now, if you want some help from that, here's the thing, man. I have a few spots open for online training. I've been training people. I've been an online trainer for like 20 years. Like I was one of the first people to do online training. If you want me to train you, help you accomplish your fitness goals one-on-one, there's an application link in the description. Hit it up and fill out the application. And then I hit you back. We'll see what's up.